The following is a live presentation of Retro Sports Network, home of the champions of the past, present, and or future. And good evening, my name is Ron Juckett. Welcome to the program for this 24th day of January 23rd. I gotta remember to start saying it right. It's 2023. And so I previewed this on my Facebook group and got the name of the teams wrong. The Yankees are indeed playing tonight, and tonight's Andy Pettit start is brought to you by Special K. Lemon Cream Vitamin B12 Extra edition. Nice and creamy and full of pep and energy, as if every Andy Pettit start. But the Yankees are playing the Seattle Mariners in what should be a preview of the American League Championship Series. Kind of a shame the Mariners are blowing their visit to New York in April, but that's the way it goes. Eric Halama going for the Mariners, Andy Pettit for the Yankees. You will see the White Sox tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 Pacific, as Seattle and the White Sox do some battle, and what also could be a preview of what's to come in October. And our third game this week will be from San Francisco and Barry Bonds again. You know, your bowl of Special K lemony flavored creamy vitamin 12 extra B12 extra numminess as they host the Northsiders, the Chicago Cubs. So that's the week ahead for you here on Retro Sports Network as far as baseball is concerned. And when the week is finished Thursday at noon, so will be the month of April. Hard to believe that we're already 1 month into this replay, over and done with. So the first place, or tied for first place, New York Yankees versus the Seattle Mariners next on Retro Sports Network. As Retro Sports Network presents Action PC 2001, A Season Odyssey. And tonight's game from Yankee Stadium in the Bronx features the New York Yankees and the Seattle Mariners. Is brought to you by DigitalDice.com, the best darn podcast on the web for your sports simulation and replay needs. Find us today on Spotify, Spreaker, iTunes, or wherever else fine podcasts are listed. Drag the mic so I can see it and so I can see what you guys say in the chat. Andy Pettit gets the call. It has not been a great start for Andy. The lefty is 0-1. That's not horrible. But that 4.70 ERA certainly isn't anything to write home about. And this will be his 5th start of the year. Andy is 29 years old, a fastball pitcher at 90, and a ground ball plus pitcher. He has faced the Royals twice, lost to them on the 4th, and his last 2 appearances were against the Red Sox, where he got 2 no decisions. His season-long, how you doing, Big Dave, was against the Red Sox on the 20th, so a full 5 days rest. 7 innings, 100 pitches, 8 hits, 1 run it was earned, his best start of the year, where he struck out 4. Overall, Pettit, 23 innings, 33 hits, 12 runs, all earned. The homer came against the Red Sox on the 15th. He has only walked 1 and struck out 16. But again, his numbers aren't great. A 15-game winner on the real year. 15-10 with an earned average of just under 4. Lineup he'll face the Mariners on this cool and clear night in the big old ballpark in the Bronx. It'll be Ichiro leading off in right field. Mark McLemore in left will bat second. Edgar Martinez, the DH, goes third. John Olerud cleans up at first. Brett Boone at second will bat fifth. It's Cameron in center. He'll go 6th. David Bell at 3rd, batting 7th. Dan Wilson behind the plate goes 8th. And Carlos Guillen at short will bat 9th. Halama should go about 90 pitches when he gets on the hill. It'll be Chuck Knobloch as we set the Yankee defense for you in left. He's a 4 and a 5. Good, Bernie Williams. It's a late night for me. Bernie Williams is 7 and 3 in center. Apollo O'Neill is a 2 and a 5 in right. Scott Brocious is a 5 at third. Derek Jeter a 5 at short. Alfonso Soriano a 3 at second. Tino Martinez, the best defender, he's an 8 at first. Or is it Jorge Posada is an 8 and a 3 behind the plate. And Andy Pettit is an 8 on the mound with a 1,000 fielding percentage. So we're ready to go. Ichiro at 330, 3 homers and 10 RBI. And has just taken the baseball world by storm. Game 21 for both teams. The Mariners are 15 and 5. The Yankees are 12 and 8 and tied for first with the Red Sox. Ichiro hits a liner into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. And that's how this one starts. So Knobloch throws it back in. A good-sized crowd here in New York. Here's Mark McLemore at 206, 2 triples and 6 RBI. So noontime tomorrow will be Seattle and the White Sox. And then noontime on Thursday will be the Cubs and the Giants from Pac-Bell. McLemore, too, I gave you those numbers already. Ichiro stands still. It's a bunt. Posada throws to Soriano covering. And the sacrifice works. Suzuki moves to second, 1 out. For Edgar Martinez, 338. 6 homers and 21 RBI. Pettit, if he plays his cards right, should pitch into the 7th. Halama, who we had last week, is a 6th-inning pitcher on a good day. Martinez, ground ball to first to Tino, and the former teammate gets him out. So Ichiro to third, 2 out for Olerud. John at 292, 2 homers and 7 RBI. Pitcher's not allowed to blow on their hands. It's not windy. It's chilly, but not windy in New York. Pitch to Olerud. Struck him out. So Pettit got him. A swing and a miss, and that will retire the side. We played half an inning in the big old ballpark in the Bronx. It's the Mariners nothing. Here come the Yankees. I think I called him Eric. It's John Halama, 29 years old. Throws the Bugs Bunny fastball at 86 and is a ground ball pitcher. Making his 5th start of the year. He's 2-0 with an earned run average of 397. He's beaten the Angels twice, including his last start, I think, on the 20th. 6 2/3, 101 pitches, and a 9-5 win. 6 hits, 3 runs, all earned. He has given up a homer in all 4 of his starts. He walked 1 while striking out 5. Russian Reb, how are you? Let's go M's. So for Halama, 22 2/3, 27 hits, 10 runs, all earned, the 4 homers. He has walked 3, striking out 13. And in the end, you'll probably doing D. Scott Howard. You could probably reverse Halama's numbers with Pettit at the end of the year and be just about all right. Chuck Knobloch will lead off for the Yankees in left field. Derek Jeter bats second and plays short. Paul O'Neill in right goes third. Bernie Williams in center cleans up. Jorge Posada behind the plate batting 5th. Coleman is a DH. Don't ask me because I don't remember. He'll go 6th. Tino Martinez is 7th in the lineup. He's the lefty, and Halama is a lefty as well. Alfonso Soriano at second, batting 8th. Scott Brocious at third goes 9th. And Pettit threw 13 pitches in his half of the first. No Jays tonight, but good to have Zalapsky Smurf along. Mark McLemore, as we said, the Mariner defense is a 6 3 in left. Mike Cameron a 10 5 in center. That's a Woolworth type player. Suzuki is a 10 8 in right. David Bell is 6 at third. Guillen a 3 at short. Brett Boone a 6 at second. Olerud is a 6 at first. Dan Wilson is a 7 2 behind the plate. And Halama is an 8 on the mound with a 968 fielding percentage. Knobloch at 278, a home run and 10 RBI. And the Yankees' night starts with a ground ball to third. Bell is just going to eat it, which is the right thing to do. It was a hard play It was off his glove, and he's going to get charged with an error. So that brings up Jeter at 329, 2 homers and 5 RBI. Yeah, old Russian Reb says that he loved watching Olerud when he was with the Mets. I think he was just beloved everywhere. With the Yankees in 04. Halama goes to the plate and pitch out, nothing doing, and now we'll steal Knobloch. So 1-ball count to Jeter, who these days is doing ants for Subway. There goes, nope, Knobloch's not going to go. And the count now is 2-0. So if Knobloch doesn't want to steal, we're just not going to have him do it. Pitch to Jeter. Derek hits a ground ball. Might be 2. Guillen to Boone for 1. Brett flings it over to first, and that's 2. So a 6-4-3 double play. 2 out for Paul O'Neill at 286, 4 homers, and 14 RBI. So 2 teams we expect to go deep into October on a Wednesday night in New York City. Pitch to Paulie is right back to Halama, throws to first, and that will retire the side. The error does not hurt. No runs, no hits, nobody left. 1 in the books, no score. So Brett Boone, Cameron, and Bell to face Andy Pettitte here in the second. Brett at 403. Pretty good number to have after 20 games. 5 homers and 20 RBI. Pettitte starts the second with a base hit into right center. Bernie Williams will cut it off. And Seattle's in business to start. So Mike Cameron, who's half to a slow start, 186 and 2 RBI. Pettitte tugs on the cap and deals. It got him. A 1-2 fastball swung on and missed, and there's 1 out for Bell. David, 7-game hitting streak for him at 345, 5 homers, and 14 RBI. If Seattle is going to go anywhere near their real-life win total, they had to come out like a house on fire, and 15-5 is pretty much a house on fire. Pettitte delivers, and Bell strikes out. Andy got him to chase an 0-2 changeup. So that brings up Dan Wilson, 191, 2 homers, and 6 RBI. That's right, I'd forgotten that Olerud was a pitcher. Scotty reminds me that Olerud was basically showing Ohtani in college at Washington State. Keith Jackson, top pitcher in his spare time. Anyone know, Russian Reb asked, which team Scott Roland will go into in the Hall? I think probably as a Philly. I think that's, you can make an argument as a Cardinal as well. But I think he'll go, I think most people will think of him as a Philly. I was surprised that there was some pushback to him getting elected. He sure sounds like a Hall of Fame third baseman to me. Both good on both sides of the ball. Pitch to Wilson. Dan hits a ground ball to Jeter, and Derek is going to have to give that a gift bag. The throw to first, and Wilson is safe. Now, is this a 2-error play? It is a 2-error play. How about that? So Jeter, oh baby. Not only did he muff it at short, but he tried to rush the throw, and it goes in the dugout, so everybody moves up 90. So a 2-base error and a rare 2-error play. There are every sabermetric baseball site in the world will be commenting about Derek Jeter's defense after that. So here's Carlos Guillen. Carlos at 281, no homers and 3 RBI. Zalapsky Smurf is shocked that nobody thinks that Roland should go in as a Jet. How long was he in Toronto for? Shane Helton didn't make it. Russian Rip says, I think next year he came, 10 votes short? And I think you got why there's a knock on him. He was very friendly to Coors Field, the banquet of baseball parks. So 2 out. Runners on second and third for Guillen. And Carlos grounds this one to Tino Martinez, and that will take care of the side. So the Jeter double boo-boo does not hurt. Doesn't help, but doesn't hurt. So the Yankees commit 2 errors. Seattle leaves on 2. No runs, a hit. After an inning and a half, no score. So Williams, Posada, and Coleman to face Halama, who threw a whopping 9 pitches in the first. Bernie at 205, 2 homers, and 9 RBI. I'm going to try and grab a cough drop in a second. Bernie, ground ball to Guillen. Carlos wings it over. For the Billy Wagner finished third in the voting. Fred McGriff gets in this year, so there's a couple big ones. I think there are 10 getting in this year, right? There's one already out of the bag for me to get. Posada, by the way, at 299, 5 homers, and 18 RBI. 1 out, bottom of the second. No score here in New York. Posada strikes out. He goes down swinging on a 1-2 fastball. And it's Michael Coleman. Any relation to Vince? 7 for 20 with 5 RBI. Only had 38 real-life at-bats. 2 out, Halama deals. Ground ball to Boone. Brett over to Olerud, and that will retire the side. Yankees go in order after 2. Seattle and New York scoreless. And the crime dog, too. He's got to go in as a Brave, don't you think? Hello, how you doing, Matt? So, let me open up the cough drop and pop that in. Andy Pettitte, opening 9, 33 pitches. 2 hits, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts. By the way, Uncle Ron snake oil and 2 new flavors, I'm told. Pepperoni. Would you drink a drink of pepperoni? Pineapple, I can see. I actually like pineapple juice. Ichiro single to start the ball game. All right, we can wet the throat now. Pitch to Suzuki. Ichiro in the left center field. That's deep, but Knobloch should track that one down. He does. 1 out for McLemore. Doing a sack bunt his first time up. I heard that right. Pepperoni flavored snake oil. I used to buy when I could drink juice. Once in a while, the Dole banana and pineapple. That was pretty good. So, Mr. Howard and Mr. Matt, what hats should Rowland and McGriff wear on their plaques? McLemore strikes out. That's 4 for Andy. He swung on and missed an 0-2 fastball. Pettitte is going to need some help if he's ever going to get in the Hall. And I would think, despite his record in the playoffs with the Yankees, and if Andy had his druthers, I think he would go in as an Astro, don't you? Edgar Martinez is 0 for 1. Andy winds and deals. There's a line drive, and Jeter can't... Oh, he does! Jeter reached, played hot potato with it, and somehow came down on the dirt, making the catch. He had a barehanded catch. It popped out of his glove and right into his waiting hands. So with the bad comes the good after 2.5. No score. You've known Andy Pettitte since grade school. That's pretty cool. Nice guy. Here's Tino Martinez. He's batting 7th tonight. 273, 4 homers, and 17 RBI as we start the bottom of the third. Halama's pitch is popped up right side. Olerud will make the catch, 1 out. For Russian Reb, Wagner is so-so to make it. I'm not a big fan of closers in the Hall, although you certainly couldn't leave out Mo Rivera. And although I really wouldn't have voted for Hoffman, I understand why he's in. Murph, I thought, would do better with the Vets Committee. He's still pretty young. There's some hope for the future. Soriano at 238, no homers and 7 RBI. Andy's 2 years older than Mark, but was only a year ahead of me in school because he had failed the 2nd grade. And I'm being told Andy's a nice guy. Scotty thinks everyone should go in as a Dodger. And I don't remember rolling with the Dodgers. Just saying. Pitch to Soriano. Ground ball to third. Bell across the way for the out. Kind of reminds me of one of those Tootsie Roll Pops that, just in general, he says. Whatever it is I think I see becomes a Tootsie Roll to me. And I guess that's how Mr. Howard thinks everyone should go in the Hall. Whatever it is you think you see becomes an LA Dodger to him. Scott Brosius at 290, a homer and 5 RBI. 2 out, bottom of the third, in a scoreless game. And Brosius strikes out. Halama got him. Got him looking, and that will retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the 4th, no score. So Halama has thrown 33 pitches through 3, Pettit 43, so good pitch counts for them both. Here's Olerud with a strike. It was 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Andy's wife. Now, here's something you'll never hear on a Fortnite stream. Was Steeler fans' girlfriend for a few days when he was 5. Then he offered her some Uncle Ron's pepperoni snake oil, and that was the end of that. She did good to move on from him. That's a great story. That's an awesome story. Scotty does not think Juan Marichal should have gone in as a Dodger. And he's right. Marichal actually was. That must have been so weird. Marichal was a Red Sox, too, just as I was starting to watch the team, but I don't remember him. Pitch to Olerud. There's a ground ball to first. Tino's there. 1 out. For Brett Boone, who singled his first time up. Mariners have 2 hits. The Yankees don't have any. Right back to Pettit towards the back at first. Throws it over to Tino, and there's 2 out. Brings up Cameron, who struck out his first time up. Andy's best outing of the year so far. His control is almost impeccable. In 26 2/3 in this replay, he's walked 1 while striking out 20. Cameron hits a high grounder to third. Brosius snap throw to first. And that will retire the side. No, it won't. Yes, it does. Tino knocked it down and recovered. I saw the blinkies and thought that was an error, but it was for none after 3.5. Seattle nothing. New York nothing. We got a compliment from Tebow today as we get to the standings. And this is a high offense era, and, you know, we joke about B12 and cream and all that. We have had in our 7 or 8 streams so far a ton of pitchers duels. So here are the standings. The Marlins have a 3.5 game lead over the Phillies. The Mets have dropped 6 straight. Sorry, Robert. Atlanta has really struggled. They're 8.5 back. Yes, it's still April, but don't dig yourself too deep of a hole. The biggest surprise, I think, in the replay is the Reds. They're 14-5. They were a 96 loss team in 2001, but they've won 8 of 10 in 4 straight. St. Louis and Houston are coming up through, and in the West, outside of don't look, Mr. Howard, some team from Los Angeles, everyone else is playing well. Remember, in real life, San Francisco finished within 2 of Arizona. In the East, the Red Sox, the Yankees, and Tampa are all 12-8. The Rays have won 6 straight. The White Sox, who you'll see tomorrow at lunch, are 3 games up on Cleveland, who has finally caught some wind. And I lost my spoon. Hold on. And in the West, Seattle has won 7 of 10, and they already have a 5-game lead over Oakland. Yeah, I miss the Expos. But I'm happy for Washington as well, especially since I covered that team. John Halama's opening 9, 3 innings and 2 hits on 33 pitches. Knobloch, as with everyone else, comes to the plate 0 for 1. They play for the bunt. We're not doing it. Popped up left side. Bell. That's a rainmaker on the school night, and that will reach the seats. And somebody from Newark will make that catch. Count is 0-2. Halama kicks and fires, and there's a ground ball to Bell. Overroot has to go back to the bag. He does, and there's 1 out. So here's the captain, Derek Jeter, who had one of those rare 2-error plays in the first. He's also 0 for 1. Pitch to Derek. Struck him out. That's 3 for Halama. 2-2 fastball, swung on and missed. So 2 out for Paul O'Neill, who's 0 for 1. Going to make my work doing the recap in about half an inning pretty dull, unless something happens soon. O'Neill right back up the box. Halama barely towards third, throws to first, and the Yankees go in order. After 4, Seattle nothing, New York nothing. So Bell, Wilson, and Guillen to face Pettit here in the 5th. David struck out his first time up. He's 0 for 1. Andy sets and fires to start the 5th, and Bell goes down. He looked at strike 3. Andy took something off a curveball, and that's not what Bell wanted. So 1 out for Wilson, who's 0 for 1. Yeah, right now, what is it about Tuesday night no-hitters? Halama pitched well in his last start. I think he took a no-hitter into the 5th. Although Halama's pitch count is in a lot better shape after 4 than what Witt was doing. Pitch to Wilson. Into left center. Bernie moving over. Jeter moving out. Birdie makes the catch. So 2 out for Guillen. Carlos is 0 for 1. Pettit winds and fires, and Guillen strikes out. That's 6 for Andy. And halfway home on a cool and cloudy night in Burlington, Vermont, it's the Mariners nothing, the Yankees nothing. I guess we're done with that. You joined us late. We haven't had a run yet. Steeler fan reminds everyone we don't talk about potential no-hitters. So John Halama has a bunch of bagels up on the board and 3 strikeouts. He's thrown 47 pitches to 13 batters. So it's not quite perfection. So, but we're still in the everything bagel category. Andy Pettit's only allowed 2 hits through 5. He has struck out 6. Seattle does have the air. And that be that. Bernie Williams, by the way, 0 for 1. Halama has faced the minimum through 4. And Bernie Williams, Halama towards the bag at first. Runs over, throws it to Olerud for the out. Brings up Posada, who struck out his first time up. John is fan 3. There it goes into left field. That's going to drop. And now we can all take... By the way, I'll see if I can find this because I quick simmed the rest of the... From Saturday to today. The computer pulled a pitcher throwing a no-hitter after, I think it was Chan-Ho Park. Had a no-hitter through 8 in a scoreless game and the computer yanked him. Everyone go grab your fainting salts right away. So here's Coleman. Y'all just had to... Well, you weren't helping last week when I had the Witt game. Here's Coleman. He's 0 for 1. I don't know if you caught this, because it was talked about later. You know, not only did I pitch poor Bobby Witt's arm off, he really didn't pitch again until August. So I ended his career. All for the sake of you guys. Coleman. Right back to Halama. Might be 2. Boone for 1. Brett turns, throws to first. Olerud's there. Got him. And that will retire the side. He has only faced the minimum through 5. No runs. The Yankees finally get a hit. And no errors. We go to the 6th here in New York. It's the Mariners nothing, the Yankees nothing. So Andy Pettit, who is giving Steeler fan the evil eye now that he knows that they shared a girl. Through opening 18, 63 pitches, 5 innings, 2 hits for Andy, and 6 strikeouts. Would you rather us discuss that? Ichiro is 1 for 2. And he already has, in Seattle's first 21 games, 31 hits. Pettit starts the 6th. Little chopper to Andy, has to hurry, throws it to Soriano covering. Was that a bunt? That was a bunt. It's one of those swinging bunts that Ichiro perfected. But the grass is a little thicker here in New York. And Pettit made the play. So it goes 2-4 on the card. 1 out for McLemore. Mark hasn't changed his status. You just had to discuss that, yeah. Watching this Odyssey project, you're tempted to pick up Strat's 2001 season. I read, by the way, speaking of Ichiro, how Stratomatic is going to be doing their all-time Japanese greats for this year, and they're going to do them by era. So that's a definite pickup. McLemore 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Andy winds and fires. Struck him out. That's 7 for Andy. An 0-2 fastball swung on and missed. 2 out here in the 6th. Here's Edgar Martinez 0 for 2. I'm looking at the Steeler fans there, and I can just see the eyes. You just had to bring this up, didn't you? Yeah, we did. So if you're interested in the all-time Japanese grades project, the teams are done by era, and the last team are foreign-born players that have done well in Japan. Tuffy Rhodes, I imagine, would be there. Tom Selleck will not. Pitch to Edgar. Martinez pops it up. Posada has all the room in the world behind the plate, goes towards the screen, doffs the mask, makes the catch. And that will retire the side. The Yankees go in order, or the Mariners go in order. Bottom of the sixth, no score. There was such hype around Hideki Irabu. Sometimes it works, such as Hideki Matsui and all that, but Irabu, the first time I watched him pitch, you know who he looked like to me? As Tino Martinez steps up, he's 0 for 1. Alama in the left center. Cameron rides the Schwinn. Coming in, makes the catch. 1 out for Soriano, who's 0 for 1. He kind of looked like Roy Clark. Now, you don't want to speak ill of Hideki because he's no longer with us. But he came to New York, I don't think, in the best of shape. Had a reputation that was almost going to be impossible to hold on to. Kind of like what Matsuzaka was for the Red Sox. And that gyro ball. Yeah, he did. Roy Clark is all I could think of. Soriano is 0 for 1. There are some people that can come to these markets again. Matsui, one of them, that can thrive in the pressure of playing in New York. And Irabu was not one of those. Pitch to Soriano with the infield back is a liner into center field. That's going to get over Boone, land in front of Cameron, and for the Yankees, that's their second hit. So 1 out for Brosius, who struck out. Soriano, good speed on the bases, but not necessarily stolen base speed. Oh, I think so. Even Chicago would have been better. Just so much pressure. I mean, you look at someone like Randy Johnson, one of the best big game pitchers, and trust me, at some point, we'll have Randy on the replay. And he hated New York. Absolutely couldn't stand it. I don't think he goes into the Hall as a Dodger, though. I'm sorry, Mr. Howard. Pitch to a throw to first. Soriano is back. Now Soriano's got some speed. Can we hit and run? Nope. But we're going to steal. There goes Soriano. Wilson's throw down to Boone is not in time. And Soriano now is 6 on the year. And a 1-strike count to Brosius. Halama's pitch. There's a ground ball to Olerud. Halama retreats to the bag. John underhands it. Soriano moves to third. Brosius retired. And the Yankees have the game's first run 90 feet away with 2 out. For Chuck Knobloch, who's 0 for 2. Opening 18 for Halama. 66 pitches, 5 2/3, 2 hits and 3 strikeouts. I would love to see a normalized Sadahara O go against some of those big league pitchers. Or you get a case of Ichiro versus Ichiro. Ohtani, of course, would be in that set. Pitch to Knobloch. Chuck laces this one into left center field. That's going to drop for a single. McLemore will pick it up. Soriano scores with ease, and the Yankees are on the board. So they get the first run of the ball game with 2 out here in the 6th. Brings up the captain. 0 for 2. Struck out, grounded into a double play, and committed 2 errors in the same play. And for that, Derek Jeter's going to go get a $5 footlong. We got 2 new followers, by the way, since we've been with you last. Pelthead. Sounds like something you'd call Charlie Brown with a follow 4 days ago. And Avenroot followed today. Yeah, no, Irabu just was, I think it was just too much. And it was such a high-pressure signing. And just really tragic. 2 out. Jeter at the plate. Halama throws to first. Knobloch is back. Hit and run is on. There goes Knobloch to throw down to Boone, and Chuck has it stolen. And so the Yankees now have another runner in scoring position, as that's the 8th steal for Knobloch. He's on second. And a 1-1 count to Jeter. Oh, swing away now. Knobloch goes. Ground ball to short. Guillen in the hole towards third. Throws over to first. And Jeter is he safe? No, here comes Knobloch going home. And he is safe. So Jeter was safe on the infield hit. And Knobloch, oh, wow, what a risky play. Just went motoring right around third. It caught Olerud and us in the booth all by surprise. The throw home was not in time, and Knobloch, although it won't go as a stolen base, literally just stole a run. And the Yankees go up 2-0. So here's O'Neill. My goodness. What a play by Knobloch. I've never seen that before. Yeah, Kaz Matsui didn't do much for the Mets. But I don't think he was brought in with all the hype that Arabu was. O'Neill is 0 for 2. Halama kind of stunned after that play. 2 out. Knobloch with huevos the size of eggs on that play. Pitch to O'Neill. That's a liner in the left center field for McLemore. He'll pick it up. Jeter will not run. And, of course, I just said eggs the size of eggs. So he has cojones the size of eggs, I think, with that one. So Bernie Williams with good speed on the bases. Halama struggling here in the 6th. Bernie is 0 for 2. Wilson goes to calm Halama down. John winds and deals. Bernie laces this one down the line and right. Ichiro's going to have to go fish it out. Bernie digging for 2. Jeter's going to score. O'Neill into third. O'Neill around third and score. Bernie's in there with his 3rd double, and the Yankees have a 4 spot on the board here in the 6th. Timely hitting. And here's Posada, who is 1 for 2. He is singled and struck out. So the Yankees have cracked the safe open here in the 6th. Halama deals, and Posada grounds 1 to Bell. David will end the inning, we think. Olerud on the bag. The Evil Empire strikes again, and for sure, 4 runs, 5 hits, and no errors. We go to the 7th in the big old ballpark in the Bronx. The Yankees 4, the Mariners nothing. Good news, if you're a Seattle fan, is that Andy Pettitte isn't the world's best pitcher here in 2001, although his ERA is now at 3.72. So it'll be Olerud, Boone, and Cameron to face Pettitte here in the 7th. John is 0 for 2 with the strikeout. And there's a laced hit into right field. O'Neill will pick it up, and the Mariners get a hit. So I'm going to ask you, gang, what time on Tuesday nights works best for you? I know that RJL goes about 7:30, and I know you guys watch a lot of those streams as well. Can't really do noon on Tuesday. So what time on Tuesday night would you like? Brett Boone is 1 for 2. Brett has a single. Pettitte's pitch. Line drive to Jeter. 1 out. Olerud goes back. So here's Cameron. Mike is 0 for 2 with a strikeout. Pettitte has fanned 7 through 6 1/3. That's 8. So he swung on and missed a 90-mile-an-hour fastball, and there's 2 out for David Bell. Well, RJL's on at 7:30 normally, so we're trying 8:30. 9 gets kind of late for this old man. But if it's the requested time, there's caffeine. David Bell is trying to get a 7-game hitting streak extended. He's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. Big Dave says 8 later. 8 or later is tough, or earlier is tough. Yeah, I wouldn't go earlier because I really don't. We're going to bookend somewhat. And I forgot Big Dave is a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. And they are about to get really happy tomorrow if you guys get the snow that you're supposed to get. Pitch to Bell. David takes the collar, and that's 9 for Pettit. We're at the stretch after 6.5. No runs, a hit, no errors. Yankees 4, Mariners nothing. Russian Reb is a 6-month-old. They don't stay young forever. Jose Panigua is coming in for the Mariners. He's making his 7th appearance, 1-0 with a 3.86 ERA. 27 years old, a fastball pitcher at 94. And a ground ball pitcher. Last pitched on the 22nd against the Angels. A 6-2 loss, inning and 2/3, 40 pitches. 2 hits, a run, it was earned, a walk, and 2 strikeouts. So 9 1/3 through his first 6 appearances. 11 hits, 4 runs, all earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 8. And so we'll look for a pinch hitter here for, let's see, Michael Coleman. We have Justice, who can hit a righty. And the answer is, we're going to let him hit. He's 0 for 2 in the strikeout. Or no, he's just 0 for 2. Grounded into a double play. That's where that one is. Panigua, as I hit the right button, starts his 9th with a strikeout. Now, I see, it was fortuitous. He swung on and missed an 0-2 fastball, 1 out. For Tito, who's 0 for 2. The Yankees 4 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors. Both by Derek Jeter on the same play, and the Yankees have been efficient. They've only left 1 on. So Halama, after taking a no-hitter into the 5th, gives up 4 in the 6th and is done. You know, I just don't want to overlap too much. He usually goes at 7:30, right? No runs, 3 hits, an error for Seattle, and they have left on 4. We're noontime with you tomorrow and Thursday. It'll be the Mariners and the White Sox tomorrow, Cubs and Giants on Thursday. Pitch to Tino is a fly ball right field. Ichiro moving back. That's way back there. And that is off the wall. And Ichiro can't make a play on it. Did he actually bobble it? Martinez has 2. Are they going to give him a double? They are going to give him a double. Ichiro ran into the wall. It's his first trip to the Yankee Stadium, and he wasn't quite sure where the wall was. I try not to sound like Vinny. And so Suzuki just ran out of real estate, and he's fine. But I really think, especially as they make this trip eastward, he's just not familiar with what's out there. So the Yankees catch a break. Not an error. Soriano 1 for 2. He has singled, stolen a base. He stole 43 in 2001 and scored. Mike from the truck Didn't I just see you pop up on my screen? You just popped up on both screens at the same time. That's pretty good. That's magic. Pitch to Soriano. Struck him out. So Paniagua, 2 out. Full count fastball for Brocious, who's 0 for 2 in a strikeout. Wilson Guillen and Ichiro in the 8th for Seattle. There goes Tino. Ground ball to Guillen. Double trouble indeed. Over to first. And that will retire the side. The Yankees get the hit but do not score. No runs, a hit, no errors. They leave only their second runner on. We go to the 8th at the ballpark in the Bronx. 4-0 New York. So Pettit probably not going to finish the game. He's at 87 pitches. Wilson, Guillen, and Ichiro. And Little Big Mo starting to stir in the Yankee pen. Ask your speaker device to enter Sandman. Pitch to Wilson. There's a ground ball to first. Tino over to Andy for the out. 1 away. Mel Allen has such an interesting voice when doing This Week in Baseball. Who used to write those puns? I'm not sure. Mike from the truck has some experience with MLB Network. Maybe he would know the answer to that. Carlos Guillen is 0 for 2 in a strikeout. Mel just had such an easygoing voice. Guillen in the left center. Bernie Williams moving over and makes the catch. So 2 out for Ichiro, 1 for 3. Andy, 90 pitches. He might be able to go all the way. 7 2/3, 3 hits, 9 strikeouts. Ichiro rubbing his shoulder after smashing in the wall is 1 for 3. Bunt singles last time up. Jamie says, I got here just in time before the end. Noon tomorrow, by the way, for the White Sox and the Mariners. Warner, if you sell Rodel. Oh, did he? I know that Warner was the other voice. And he was with the Rangers, wasn't he? Because Warner always did the updates, the stuff that happened just before they assembled the show. Pitch to Ichiro is a ground ball up the middle. Soriano behind the bag. Snap throw to first. And they're going to get him by a step. And so that's it. No runs, no hits, no errors. We go to the bottom of the 8th here in New York. It's the Yankees 4, the Mariners nothing. So Paniagua to face Knobloch, Jeter, and O'Neill. Chuck is 1 for 3. A single, an RBI, a run scored, and a stolen base. So speaking, I don't know where I was going to go with music. But before, Enter Sandman, that's where I was going to go with that. So ask your speaker device to play that for you if Little Big Mo comes in. Speaking of music in Yankee Stadium, I asked my Madam Speaker to play Cotton Eye Joe, which I have no idea, even listening to that. By the way, the group that did it was called the Rednecks, which is the last thing you think about when you think about Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. How on God's green earth did the Yankees attach themselves to that song? Not a bad song, but where did you come from? Where did you go? Anywho. Anyway, Jamie says that Fusel believe he was hired on early for TWIB and then did more of it as it went on. A couple of years since you did your own version of TWIB that you remember reading. That's right, you used to do streams. Modern play-by-play announcers miss that X factor they had in the past. I think one of the things is that you are so pressured to get every available stat you can out, because if you don't, you get yelled at for not being saber friendly. And gosh, you can't have any Dead air. I tell you, the Knobloch's 1 for 3. 2 out. Panigua's pitch. Walked him. So here's Jeter. Derek 1 for 3. He has singled, grounded into a double play, committed 2 errors on 1 play, and struck out. And for that, he gets a foot long at Subway. Nobody out. Yankees up 4-zip. Bottom of the 8th. Popped up. Right side, Boone will make the catch along the foul line. 1 away for O'Neill. Paulie 1 for 3 with a single. I know you haven't done live. Cotton Eye Joe, the Rays used to play that early on in games and did the dancing groundskeeper. Their owner at the time thought if they copied the Yankees, they would be the Yankees. Well, you know, emulation is the sincerest form of flattery. And I suggest after the game, you go down to Safeway and get a package of Farmer John sausages. That goes great with a cold glass of California orange juice. And don't forget, on the way to work, after you're done on the 405, to stop into your local Union 76 dealer and tell him Uncle Vin sent you. I wouldn't know anything about that. Panigua deals. O'Neill struck him out. On a 1-2 curve, 2 out, and the nasty boy, Norm Charlton's going to come in. Norm has no I'm not changing the computer lineup. Norm has no record and an earned run average of .540 in 5 previous appearances. He's 38 years old, fastball at 90. And a ground ball pitcher. We had him the last time out. 1 inning appearance against Anaheim in Seattle in their 9-5 win. 22 pitches and 2 walks. 5 innings, 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned. 2 homers. He has walked 5 and struck out 7. And today in Dodger history, on his 24th day of January, in 2015 was the first time in Dodger history that a series of GOATs applied for season tickets. And considering they were coming from northern Washington, the Dodgers, always wonderful in granting first for everything, gave the season tickets to the goat farmer from northern Washington. And so today, when you see the freshly taken care of garden at Dodger Stadium, thank the goats who wear Dodger uniforms every time they go to graze. And that's what happened on this day in Dodger history. He still better be here. Here's Bernie Williams. He's 1 for 3. He drove in 2 on a double in the 6th that apparently broke this one open. 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Yankees. They've left on 2. No runs, 3 hits, an error for Seattle, and they've left on 4. And Charlton trying to get out of this with 2 out in the 8th. He will go to the... He'll bean Bernie Williams. Oh, yeah, that'll go over real well. 3-1 fastball, nailed him on the shoulder. Aren't you glad you asked that, Jamie? Here's Posada, who was 1 for 3 with the strikeout. So first and second, 2 out. Charlton, you don't want to hit anyone at Yankee Stadium. Rob Dibble would not be impressed. Gets away from Wilson, and everybody moves up 90. So second and third on the wild pitch, and Charlton has just been nasty. the wrong way. He's almost not like Miss Jackson, but Pigpen. A full count now to Posada. It was like Vin came back from the beyond. So a full count for people who will watch on YouTube. If you're not familiar with the goats, our friend D. Scott Howard goats it every once in a while, and I think it was in the playoffs in '78 when we did the '78 season. So 2 years ago, maybe 3, he would try to get those goats into playoff games. In some places we would, in some places we didn't. So it's been a traveling roadshow with the goats ever since. I honestly don't know what happened on January 24th in Dodger history, but we've consulted the Ouija board. Full count pitch to Posada. Jorge goes down. Charlton got him. He got him to swing and miss, and there goes the threat. No runs, no hits. The Yankees leave on 2, and he's going to try to get the shutout after 8, 4-0 New York. McLemore, Edgar, and Olerud to face Pettit. Mark has struck out twice. Andy has fanned 9 on 93 pitches and is throwing a 3-hitter. He starts the 9th with a ground ball to third. Barocious makes a fantastic play. A diving throw to Tino, 1 out. So here's Edgar. He's 0 for 3. A big win. No, not a bit. As I said earlier, Mr. Russian Reb, I am stunned about all the good pitching we've had on the stream in this replay. Now, 43 degrees. It's a cold night in New York. I mean, Pedro versus Roger, we seeded to have good pitching, but no, we are definitely in where aces are throwing 7. So Jamie looked it up. All right. So on this day in 1950, the Brooklyn Eagle reported that Jackie Robinson, the National League batting champion and its most valuable player, signed a 1-year Dodger contract today for a reported $35,000 after a 5-minute press conference with President Branch Rickey. The figure is the highest ever paid player in Dodger history. There. As I read the other day that Tom Seaver took a $20,000 pay cut, I think for 74, or no, it must have been 75 because he had a down year. And so he went from being paid $140,000 to $115,000. Yeah, that's almost as much as what the goats get paid. I think Mr. Howard fell asleep. So here's Edgar, 0 for 3. Andy trying to slam the door, throwing a 3-hitter. Martinez rips this one in the left. That's going to get down the corner. Knobloch's got to fish it out. That's extra bases. Edgar needs to go to second if he's going to take it. He does, and he's in there with a stand-up double. That's only the 4th hit. So once again, Mo Rivera stirs. Here's Olerud. John is 1 for 3. He has singled and struck out. But Andy trying for his, believe it or not, this is his 5th start, and he's looking for his first win. Posada says, pitch. Andy obliges, and Olerud rips that one into center field for a single. Martinez will hold at third at the moment. Nope, he'll score. And so now it's a save situation. Soriano, not the best of fielders, was late on the grab. And that'll do it for Pettit. And so Mariano, who hasn't pitched in 3 nights, had 50 saves in real life. And with a runner, there now being a 3-run game and a runner on, it is now a save situation. Steeler fan tried to throw Andy off his game by telling stories about his wife. You vixen, you. Sitting with his wife. Reminiscing about Capri Suns and juice boxes from when they were kindergarten sweethearts. That's a true story if you joined us late. Apparently, Andy was not bothered. Now, if you ran into her at the store today or whatever, would she think highly of you or run screaming the other way? Mo has no record. Has 7 saves, an earned run average of .216, his 9th appearance. He is 7 for 7 in save appearance chances. 7th in the American League at the moment. Hasn't pitched since he got a 1-out save against the Red Sox on the 21st. 8 pitches allowed a hit. So overall, 8 in the 3rd innings, 9 hits, 2 runs, both earned. A home run came against Kansas City on April 5th. He hasn't walked anybody, and the cutter has fanned 8. And if you believe in the count from Sesame Street, his first appearance, I brought him out 2 innings in opening day, and you can just count from 0 to 7. So Olerud on first. Boone was 1 for 3. So we're going to try 8:30 unless she doesn't have a chiropractor's appointment. So if that works for you guys, that works for me. So Mo, now blowing on his hands, is 43 here. Boone strikes out. Can you guess what he threw? A 2-2 cutter. She would be kind, he says. I'm sure she's a preacher's daughter, so the fake nice comes naturally. No, noon on rest of the week. Tuesdays, as Mike Cameron comes to the plate 0 for 3 and 2 strikeouts, the wifey has a chiropractor's appointment, and so I can't get up until she gets back. Need to sit at some point, and so that's why we got pushed into prime time for Tuesdays. But tomorrow and Thursday, our normal noontime get-together. Have some lunch. And tomorrow it'll be the White Sox and the Mariners. Cameron is 0 for 3. He has fanned twice. Rivera has fanned 9 on the replay. Looking for 10 right here. Won't get it. Base hit up the middle. And Williams will pick it up. And so now the tying run is at the plate, and David Bell, who is 0 for 3, he has struck out 3 times. Well, we pull out Vin every once in a while. I really don't try to do Vin unless I go into, the intentional Vinny impression. What you doing, Mike from the truck? Primetime Tuesday. You got something going on. Yeah, I haven't seen you during the day. So it's Bell who has taken the collar. He is 0 for 3. Olerud on second. Cameron with speed to burn on first. And Bell with some power at the plate. So Rivera doesn't even look like he's breaking a sweat, which would be tough to do on a cold night. Kicks and fires. Bell into left field. Back goes Knobloch. That ball is well hit. Knobloch to the track. That will stay in the yard, and the ball game's over. Over. How about that? That was not a Valentine blast. And the Yankees win this one 4-1. Yeah, it's similar, but I don't try to do Vin. So 4 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Yankees. They left on 4. 1 run, 6 hits, and an error for Seattle. And they leave on 6. The Yankees go to 13-8 for the moment, solo first place in the American League East. The Mariners will remain in first at 15-6. Andy Pettit's going to be your digital dice player of the game, 8 1/3 to get his first win. 5 hits, a run, and struck out 9. Halama, 6 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Oh, that 6th inning was a crushing blow. Struck out 3. Could have thrown 91 pitches, Pettit 113. Little Big Mo, 2/3 of an inning, a hit, and a strikeout. He is now 8 for 8 and saved chances. So as we get ready to play the rest of this 25th day of April, it is a full day of baseball. Who was it that? Oh, it was Chan Ho Park. Now let me show you this because it was a 1-0 game. This was similar to the Bobby Witt game. He had a no-hitter through 8. He still had a lot of pitches left. He only had thrown 109, and his expected pitch count was 125. But he got yanked for Shaw, and Shaw lost the ball game. So I imagine that the LA Times wouldn't have been kind to, is it Jim Tracy in 01? So the computer did make the move to yank somebody throwing a no-hitter. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. I don't want cards and letters for that. But yeah, imagine that. 2 walks, 20. He only faced 26 batters. But National League game in a scoreless game, I understand why. Come on. All right. Rest of the day in baseball. Baltimore beats the Tigers 3-2. Roberts gets his first win. Sparks doesn't. 1-3. Cal, his third of the year, 3 for 4. Cleveland beats Anaheim 6-1. CC Sabathia 2-1. Valdez 1-1. Russell Branyan, what a big guy, 2 for 3. I'm gonna have to go back here in a second. Hits his third of the year, drives in 2. Toronto downs Texas 7-3. Chris Carpenter, or Matt Carpenter, 3-1. Kenny Rogers, love won't turn him around. He's 0-3. Raul Mondesi, 2 for 3. His third of the year, drives in 3. Kansas City beats Tampa 6-3. Jeff Suppan goes to 2-2. Meacham 2-1. Hernandez his 4th save. Boston behind 11 strikeouts for Pedro. Shuts down Minnesota 8-3. Petey is 3-0. Brad Radke is 1-4. And David Ortiz, not with the Red Sox, hits his 8th. Goes 3 for 4. Yep, that David Ortiz right there takes Petey deep. And I gotta tell you, that looks weird. In a football game between a CFL and an NFL team, St. Louis pounds out 19 hits. Albert Pujols, I wonder if anything's going to happen in his career. He drives in 4. He doubles 3 times and goes 4 for 5. Mike Timlin, speaking of future Red Sox, gets the win as St. Louis beats Montreal 16-10. Munoz takes the loss 0 for 1. Mets down the Brewers in Milwaukee 4-1. Steve Trashel 3-1. Haynes wasn't his way 1-3. And Casanova, taking some time off from looking at girls, goes 1 for 2. His first of the year in a walk. Houston downs Atlanta 2-1. Scott Ellerton 2-1. Millwood is 0-2. Jeff Bagwell 2 for 3, a double and 2 stolen bases. Ray Durham 3 for 4, his 5th of the year. Drives in 5 as the White Sox beat the A's 8-6. David Wells goes to 5-0. Tam 1-2. Chicago downs Colorado 11-9 at the big old ballpark in Denver. Todd Van Poppel 2-3. John Wazin 1-1. Coomer 3 for 4 with his first of the year, drives in 3. Kurt Schilling goes to 4-0. Arizona beats Florida 6-2. Jason Grilli, yep, the Astros won. Grilli 1-2. Cliff Floyd 4-for-4, 7th of the year with 2 doubles. Reds, again, they're 100 lost or almost 100 lost team. They are 15-5 to start. They beat San Francisco 5-4. Mercado 2-0 and a 12-inning win. Zerby, not to be confused with the Floby, is 0-1. Barry Bonds hits his 6th of the year, 3-for-5 and a double. Philadelphia, a good start, 12-8. They beat San Diego down at the Murph, 9-5. Real Cormier, 4-1. Widdesick, 0-1. Doug Glanville, Strat fan extraordinaire, 2-for-6, his 3rd of the year in the stolen base. And the Dodgers beat the Pirates 6-5. Adams 1-1. Martinez 0-3, and Jason Kendall went 3-4-5. And that will do it at 9:45 here in the East. Thank you so much for watching and being with us on Tuesday night. It'll be the Mariners and the Chi Sox tomorrow, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific. And then it'll be the Cubs and the Giants to finish off the baseball portion of our week Thursday. Hoping to get some golf in Friday and Sunday. Have yourself a great day, everybody. So long.